Hello everyone, my name is Stefan,
I'm Kyle.
and this is Style Sports. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving for our viewers in America, and we're gonna get started with NFL. We had a very nice game. It was on Monday, Houston Texans, the Oakland Raiders, and it was in Mexico City. It's the first time it's been there for about 11 years. And they had a record viewing of 102,000. So big game. Um, Final score was 27-20 for the Raiders. They did in fact win. There are a few dodgy calls, which might have ended in a different score line, but it is the way it is, and you can't change it. Good game. Derek Carr is leading his team. This is another game where he got just under 300 passing yards, another 3 touchdown. Definitely looking MVP candidate for quarterback. He's doing really well. Um, Nothing else really to say about that game. It was kind of, I don't know, a bunch of blown calls. Disappointing because I'm not a fan of either, but I just think the refs should get it together eventually, right? Bunch of PIs and I don't know. It's just a dirty game. But did you watch the game?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what did you think of it? Do you think they were? I know you're a Raiders fan, so you're a bit biased, but come on. Do you think their calls
Yeah.
were botched or?
Well, like first, okay, the big call that everyone's talking about was out of bounds. That was out of bounds.
Yeah.
His heel did move to the outside, and I mean, I think something. This is like what second week in a row. There's been like a
Yeah.
dodgy out of bounds. I think
Oh,
players who are in the position that are running the ball need to have other than white shoes. If we 2 weeks in a row, white shoes, you can't see. I think
yeah.
the NFL needs to do something. I feel like black shoes, anything other than white shoes, because it's hard to see. And I mean, everyone says, "Oh yeah, he was out." I mean, in my opinion, like I saw different angles, and I felt like his heel was a little
Yeah,
out.
he was definitely out.
And at the end, like some of the first down calls
Third.
for the Texans, I feel like, or yeah, third down calls,
Yeah.
those are a little, those are dodgy as
Yeah,
well.
it's like
But
the whole game was shady, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. It was just,
that's what happens when you play games in Mexico.
I guess, yeah. What would you really expect? Um, I'll talk about another game. The So there weren't very many good games, right, over the weekend, but there was one game that caught my eye: the Minnesota Vikings versus Arizona Cardinals. So after starting 5-0, the Vikings lost four in a row, 5-4 currently. They were looking, sorry, 4-4. They were looking, so yeah, 5-4, and they were looking to win another game, right? And it got really close. Sam Bradford had I don't want to say, I don't know. He only threw for 169 yards and 1 touchdown. Um,
It was like the defense, because like they shut
yeah,
out basically they had Arizona to about 24 yards in the
yeah,
second
because
half.
Carson Palmer he threw 200 yards with 2 touchdowns, but they ran it a lot more, over 120 yards, with Minnesota only under 70. So that's a bit interesting, but yeah, it was a good game because it's close. Arizona Cardinals, I personally thought that they were the better team. Vikings, um, well, they're losing their thing and they're overrated. But what did actually help the game a lot was a 103-yard interception touchdown, pick six, um, 14th minute of the third quarter, which completely changed everything by Xavier Rhodes. So I think that definitely changed the momentum of the game. Arizona could not get it back after that. It was just a terrible game for them in the end. Pick after pick. So yeah. Um, Also, one more quick thing. Odell yesterday, November 23rd. Odell celebrates the anniversary after 2 years after his infamous catch against the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I have a question for you. Do you think it changed his life, that catch?
Um, I think it just, I think that the catch just put him more on the map, and it just, so I guess it did change his life because it did, put him on the map, and it really,
It's like personally, I've never heard of the guy. He was a rookie, right, when that happened?
yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of the guy. Now all of a sudden he's one of the top picks in fantasy, one of the most, I don't know, hyped players, like wide receiver one. Good for him though. Good for him.
All right, so Heading into week 12, the playoffs are very close. Basically, all the teams, they can smell it, and we're getting getting extremely close to those times. So right now, the leading teams in both conferences are the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots for the AFC, and for the NFC, it's Dallas and Seattle. I mean, Dallas right now looks like they have this tied up 9-1. And with the Seattle 7-1, I feel like right now Seattle, Dallas, they're definitely making playoffs. I mean, Seattle, their division doesn't look like they're going to challenge them. Dallas, I mean, unless they somehow go on a bad streak, bad run of form, then that's the only way that they can really lose momentum. But right now, I think it's clear sailing for them. They should definitely make the playoffs as a top seed. Hopefully, get that bye.
If they don't, that'll be the biggest choke in history, arguably.
Not, it'd
'Cause,
be a
I
big
mean,
choke.
they're literally okay. All they have to play is the Redskins, the Vikings, the Giants, and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's three big matchups that they need to win.
Yeah, I know. Buccaneers should be easier than the rest, but they can make the playoffs even if they don't win the rest, right?
And, you
They're
know,
9-1. It'd be
9-7. If they lose the rest of their games, they go 9-7, and they won't be able to make the play. If they lose, and if like Giants and Washington can win out.
yeah, okay.
So I think right now in both divisions, in both conferences rather, the one division has 3 out of 6 of the playoff spots. So in the AFC West has 3 playoff spots with Oakland, Kansas City, Denver. In the NFC East has 3 also the playoff spots with Dallas, the Giants, and the Washington Redskins. Right now, like the for the AFC is looking like right now the playoff picture with Oakland, New England, Houston, Baltimore, Kansas City, Denver is going to stay the same. The only team that I really see could fall out is maybe Houston or Baltimore. Uh, no, it's for AFC, for
Oh, I
AFC.
see.
And then because right now Pittsburgh and Baltimore have the same record, but Baltimore just has a better head-to-head. And Indianapolis is only 1 game behind Houston, and they also do have. I'm pretty sure they have another matchup before the end of the season. So Miami, they're 6-4. So right now, Miami would have to try and push for a bye because I don't really think the Patriots are going to really mess up that division lead. So Pittsburgh is 5-5, Indianapolis 5-5, Buffalo's 5-5. I think right now it's safe to say teams like Cincinnati, the Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars are kind of out. Yeah, though Cleveland was officially eliminated 0-11, so there goes Terrell Pryor's dreams. So in the NFC, the right now the NFC East is looking tight, and the NFC North with Detroit and Minnesota. So right now, after the big Thanksgiving game, Detroit has now a 1 game advantage over Minnesota, and that's good for head-to-head. I mean, teams like I think Minnesota can still make it. Philadelphia can still make it. Tampa Bay can still make it. Green Bay possibly.
No, honestly, there's
I
this.
mean, they're still they're 4-6, and the division isn't very strong.
I mean, they blew so many like lead, like they should have won so many of the games that they lost. I just don't personally see it happening. Like they're playing the Eagles, right? Then they're playing Texans, Seahawks, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. That's a tough schedule.
Exactly, and
Um,
if they win those
the only
games,
the only
then
easy
they would
one is
have a
the
good
Bears.
head-to-head.
The only one is the Bears. But the Seahawks, I don't think they're gonna win. Texans, I do not think they're gonna win. I don't think they're gonna win any of their next game except for the Bears. And maybe the Vikings. Um,
But I mean, they're still in the hunt because I mean, all
I
they
mean, yeah, they're
they
in the
don't have
hunt.
to have a good record.
Aaron
They just have to
Rodgers,
win.
Aaron Rodgers wants to the article how he was hunting for and his team were, and I don't know. It might not be possible. I don't know.
And like teams like San Francisco, Chicago, Los Angeles, I think are like safe. I mean, I want to put my my insight. I think Carolina, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta. I think Atlanta coming in with their like 4-0, 4-1, whatever. I think they had this division easy. Right now, Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is pushing up to get this division title. I mean, right now
They're
they're
a
five and
sleeper team.
five.
They're a sleeper type.
Exactly, because I mean everyone's thinking, oh, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They're been a bad team. But I feel like right now they're heading up against. I mean, the big game against Seattle. I feel like a win here against Seattle, and if Atlanta loses, that'd be very good. First of all, they'll get a win against a conference team. so that could help with head to head if that ever has to come into play. And I think that would solidify them as a good team. I mean, Mike Evans
Yeah, he's pretty good.
told his quarterback they don't feel scared to throw the ball because Richard Sherman most likely is going to be covering him. So don't be scared because he said he feels confident in a matchup against Richard
He
Sherman.
could take him. I think Richard Sherman. Yes, he's an elite cornerback. I feel like he's fallen off over the years. I feel like Mike Evans is new and up and coming, and I feel like he could definitely take him. Maybe not on everything, because it is still Richard Sherman. You gotta calm down, but I do think Mike Evans could do a little something.
In his rookie game, like in the first season in a rookie game against Seattle, he put up amazing numbers. I mean, he caught the ball in between three Seattle defenders: Richard Sherman, I think Byron Maxwell, and
Thomas,
Earl
probably.
Thomas. Yeah, it was crazy catch. I mean, they still lost the game. I'm saying it's just showing that, like, and over the past 2 seasons, he's become even better receiver. He's a red zone target, 9 touchdowns,
He's
and I think he's been
capable.
a yeah, exactly.
He
He's
just needs
capable
some
of doing it.
targets. Get some
Hmm.
targets, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also disappointed with the Saints. I don't know about you, but Drew Brees is such an elite quarterback that I just think it's pathetic how they're 4-6. I just need they need a target. Like they do have Brandon Cooks.
No, they
Um,
have like the offense is good. Like they put up all the points,
but
just they
maybe
don't
their
have a good
defense is
defense.
bad. Yeah.
It's their defense is terrible. Like teams
Like
walk in and it's like they put up so many
I
points.
don't understand how they put up 45 plus points and they're 4-6. Like I don't
And they
understand.
put up.
That's
It's like
ridiculous.
their Drew Brees is a crazy. I mean, the
Yeah.
offense is good. They don't worry about the offense. Just worry about
Yeah.
they need some defenders. 'Cause, I mean, that defense is
It's
terrible.
bad. You let in that many points. I think they're up there with the highest points against. Definitely. Um,
So, all right, do you think, all right, for like right now, do you think anybody would fall out of like the current playoff scenarios right now? Do you think like
so in AFC, NFC, or just in general?
in just general, like AFC and NFC, like
I feel like the Dolphins. You said
could push up?
I feel like they could, yeah, because I think they would go up, and then I'll talk about someone who I think could fall off. Because Dolphins have won 5 in a row.
4 in a row.
4 in a row after being ridiculous. They were doing super bad. I just think they're starting to do good. Obviously I don't like them because they're my division rivals, but they're definitely doing good. And they're a team to be frightened. I mean, they're not even. I don't want to say they're bad. They're not even good. They just come in clutch. Like I mean, against the Rams, they were down, and they just I don't know. The Rams defense just shut down, I guess, and the Dolphins pull up their fourth win, and
Mhm.
ridiculous. But I think they could do good. Who I think are gonna fall. I feel like Lions 7-4. Um, but I feel like the Lions and Vikings. Those two, I'm not too confident with. Um, Lions are doing really good this year, but I still think that one of the two are gonna mess up and they're gonna like drop out. Cause I Vikings, if I couldn't place money on them if I was a better. They're too flip floppy. I couldn't do it. Cause if they have a bad game, their season's over. They have going a bad streak, it's over. Same with the Lions, right? Because they're not historically great teams, right? I don't know. That's just what I think. But you,
I think the Lions are safe. Like they're making play. I mean, like I don't think anyone from that division is really. I mean, someone I guess Minnesota can push for like um
or
uh a wild card position. But I feel like Detroit, they have a what is that? They have a 1 game lead above Minnesota. And even if Minnesota ties, Detroit has the head-to-head advantage over them. And I mean, Detroit, they've gotten the offense together.
and they're on a win
Matthew
streak of
Stafford,
3.
Matthew Stafford's been playing good. I feel like Detroit is safe. And I mean, yes, I feel like even if Minnesota doesn't clutch up, I really don't think Chicago or Green Bay be able to. So I feel like Detroit is safe like ish
One of the
for
two is
now.
going down. I guarantee. I feel like the Packers are gonna overcome one of them. I think the Packers are gonna get the wild card. It might be hard, but I feel like they can if they get their offense clicking again.
I mean, the offense is good, just once again the defense. Same thing with the Saints. I mean, in the past 4 games, thing has put up over. Green Bay has put up over. I think Aaron Rodgers put over 300 yards
Yeah.
and over 303 touchdowns. So
Yeah, I
I
mean
think the offense
he's
is
not
good.
the
The offense
problem.
is good.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, they're just gonna, they're sure the running game, and they lost some of their elite cornerback, not elite cornerbacks, but their primary cornerbacks to
yeah,
injuries. So I feel like that's been taking a big hit in the season.
yeah, injuries is the problem.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about NBA. Let's get started
Hold on,
with
power rankings.
power rankings.
Shit, my bad.
The-
All right, so the top three stays the same from the top. Yeah, the top three stays. Top four actually stays the same. So Dallas is still first, Seattle second, Patriots third, Oakland is fourth. Broncos went up from sixth, which is weird because I think Kansas City dropped. Yeah, Kansas City dropped from fifth down to seventh. The Giants moved up to sixth after getting a win over the weekend. Um, Big surprise was that now the Bengals, who ranked 18th last week, have now dropped to 26th. So an 8-point drop. And I think after that loss, first of all, they lost one of their productive running backs, Giovanni Bernard, is done for the season. Their best wide receiver, AJ Green, he's also he has a hamstring injury, so he could be out for quite a while. Um, Cleveland Browns, and they've lost their 14th game in a row, carrying over from last season. So that's really, that's good to know. The Packers are down. The Saints are also going down. The Buccaneers, who are now sitting at 5-5, they've also gone up in their ranking, going up to 22nd. And yeah, and I mean, out Philadelphia, I think after they lost to the Seattle Seahawks, they fell out of the top 10, and they're now sitting in 15th. And same with Houston, who was also in the top 10, I think about ninth or eighth, now fell down to 16th because they took a big loss to a conference rival against the Raiders.
All right, so let's go on to NBA now. So I'm just gonna talk about the most anticipated rematch, I guess, this season so far. After the Lakers gave the Warriors a massive loss by 20 points, the Warriors decided to return the favor. They smashed them 149 to 106, 43-point lead. So they really gave them some revenge. Um, Stephen Curry dropping 31 points and Draymond Green dropping 9 rebounds and 11 assists, which is really good. Um, I don't know. I think I hate the Warriors. Right? I've expressed this a lot, but they're on the up. They're 12-2. 8,
13-2.
sorry, 13-2 after that game. Yeah. The Lakers are 8-8. So I don't know. What do you think about the Warriors?
I feel like they've been a good team the last couple seasons.
Power
I
up.
feel like I feel like this, they've just been better. I mean, not better, but I feel like they've just been playing good, especially from their early. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I thought, man, they have too much superstars. The team's not going to work.
Like that's how it
But
was the first game.
yeah, the first couple games, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Offense looked shaky, and then they managed to reassure themselves, putting themselves as the dynamic offense they were. What was it, like a 40-point win over the
43.
over the Lakers. I mean, that game was crazy. It was like they had 80 points by halftime.
Also, they
Like
had
they,
a franchise record of 47 assists.
yeah, that's wow, jeez,
That's like the entire team. That's ridiculous.
it's pretty good,
Crazy.
honestly. And I feel like they've reassured themselves right now. They're second in their conference behind the team that I'm going to talk about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Clippers, who are now they won their fourth game in a row against the Mavericks last night. It was a 124 to 104. That just means that they're 9-1 in their last 10 games. I feel like the Clippers is like it's a weird team. They don't really have they have like the players, Chris Paul, the Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, but they've been playing good, but not like like Durant's and Curry's. The team it's been a team that's been bolstered by their bench. People like Raymond Felton and Maurice Spates. Those players have really been helping this team flourish from the bench. And I feel like I mean, they're second in the league in offense, second in the league in defense, and they look like a very. I mean, I know it's early in the season, but I think they're they look like a really good team. I mean, they've been playing crazy.
Yeah, they're
And the thing,
unstoppable.
they've been beating good teams. I'll give you know, I mean, Dallas was a bad team, but
Yeah,
you know, they
so
still beat like the Raptors and stuff like that. So, you know, I think they've been playing good. And another team that's also been playing good, that's been surprising me, I think, is Atlanta. So Atlanta is 7-3 in their last 10 games, and I think a big person, Dwight Howard has played like trash his last 4 or 5 seasons, and I think he came to Atlanta and his career just got revamped.
yeah,
Right now,
because he got 23 points and 20 rebounds.
and right on the season, he
Yeah,
averages about 15 points and 13 rebounds.
I think that's
And
ridiculous.
I
Crazy.
mean, even he thinks that
From
he's a better
someone,
player.
yeah, from someone coming from Houston.
Someone that was regarded as one of the worst players last
Yeah,
season.
like I mean, I like James Harden, but um, he he's now getting a lot more assists, but um, yeah, there was not a lot of ball passing, and now I feel like Dwight Howard is the star opposed to Harden being the star. So now Howard feels more, this is my team and I'm the leader.
No, they
Opposed
don't
to
play on the same team.
they did though.
Yeah, they did, yeah,
Yeah,
last
that's what I'm
season. But
saying.
like,
That's what I'm saying. They would play on the same team, and I feel like James Harden was more of the boss. And now on Atlanta, I feel like Dwight Howard is more of a boss. You know, kind of make it his own team, and you know, yeah, I feel like it's definitely changed him as a player to make him better.
hmm it was a big
Um,
acquisition for the Hawks.
so a few things, real quick. Raptors lost to Sacramento Kings, in a botch call that they admitted. They admitted that it was a bad three. It should have counted. They should have went into overtime, but instead they lost by 3 points. It was a rough game. That shouldn't have happened. A bunch of missed calls. Like for instance, uh, Lakers, they played against the Thunder. Nick Young traveled and then shot the game winner, and the NBA admitted they messed up. So that's a few game winners that they've been messing up in a row, which cost the entire game. I feel like they should figure something out because there's a problem going on. Um, you can't just have a bunch of errors like that, man. That's ridiculous, especially at this
I feel
high
like in
level.
all sports,
Yeah,
the referees have just been.
they've been
I mean,
shit.
I think it's about time they make some robot referees and don't make mistakes.
Making
So I
robot
mean,
cars, making robot referees.
I mean, the referees in every sport, soccer, basketball, football, they've just made a continuous error. And the thing is, like,
They're not
the
even
errors that they've
like,
been making
yeah, their game,
are
like,
costing exactly. They're
yeah,
costing games.
it's like, yeah, you should figure
I mean,
something out.
yeah, it's been bad. I mean, it's lucky in a sport like basketball where one loss, especially at the beginning, isn't a big
Yeah,
deal.
because it's like, what?
But in sports like in football, where there's only 16 games, a loss is a big deal.
Oh, it's a massive deal.
Exactly. And I feel like the referees they need to like sit down. They need to buy some glasses. They need to go over the rule book,
Yeah,
and they need to do something. They need to have some
exactly.
referee colleges around the
'Cause
world.
it's getting pathetic at this point.
Yeah.
Just embarrassing. It's like, yeah, so type of player of the month.
All right. So it's not official, but I think. All right. Who do you think from both conferences? So who do you think Eastern and
Oh boy.
Western? So I know you're gonna say Harden.
My
All right. So
boy James Harden.
other than Harden, who do you think in the Western deserves Player of the Month for
Hold on, hold on.
November?
Let me just talk. Let me just say one thing about James Harden real quick before. I do think he should win it, but he did have 12 turnovers last night. I think that cost him a lot of that, but didn't make it up for almost a triple double. But anyway, so who I think Anthony Davis.
Do you think Anthony Davis?
Anthony
All right.
Davis or LeBron James.
No, I mean for each conference. So you're
Oh,
saying Anthony Davis for the Western and LeBron James for the Eastern.
yeah.
All right. So I think I'm saying Westbrook for the Western, and for the Eastern Conference, I'm gonna side with the native man, DeMar DeRozan. Mm-hmm. I'm saying DeMar just because it's been evident how he's been with
I mean, he
consistently been
started to
playing.
kind of fall off, but
Yeah, he's been falling off, but I feel like but now Lowry has
the
been
month
picking up the
over, so
slack.
we'll let him go. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I feel I read something where he averaged 33.12 points per game, which was highest in the NBA. Westbrook followed after that, and then Harden. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't know. I think LeBron's been doing better. He's a monster, and I think Anthony Davis, his team is 5-11. Should be getting more. Uh,
But I just feel like when Westbrook is in your thing, I mean Westbrook, what he has 5 triple
I've
doubles.
triple.
Yeah, that's league leading, and I just think like that's just puts him over Anthony Davis, and Westbrook has been leading his team to W's, and I feel like that is
Not
also
really
another
though. His
impact.
team is not very
I
good.
mean,
I mean, they're
they're not
they're
like they're
barely
still
better. They're barely better than the Pelicans.
not barely better. They're a lot better than the team. I
They have
mean,
like 2 more wins.
yeah, they have 2 more wins, but I'm saying the Pelicans are bad.
Five and
Like
11.
the city, Oklahoma has been playing some good teams. They've been not a bad like a schedule, but they've been having it's a pretty decent schedule that they have to come up against. I mean, 8-8, they're still in the playoff position, and I feel like they're only destined to get better
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm gonna talk about power rankings for the NBA. We claim the top spot. They're 11-2. They were number 3 last week after that win. They've won 7 in a row, and they've done it with a bunch of points. They have an average of 119.5 points per 100 possession. It's crazy. Clippers are in second, 12-2. The Cavaliers are in third, 10-2. Spurs brought it up to 4. They were 6 last week. The Hawks are making a big. Actually, no, they stayed the same. They didn't move. The Bulls, they went up 3, even though they're losing quite badly. They don't have a very good record. 4-9. But I mean,
The Bulls
yeah,
are not 4-9.
not. That's what it says here.
The Bulls,
Oh, sorry, not Bulls. Sorry, my bad. That was the Heat. My apologies.
yeah, the Heat.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Heat are 4-10 now.
I
The
got
Bulls are nine
confused
and
because I saw
six.
Dwayne Wade. I was like, I'm not used to it yet. So the Hornets are they up 1. Raptors, they moved down 4 after losing Cavs, the Warriors, and Sacramento. They don't have very much defense, but whatever. The Rockets are 9 and the Grizzlies are 10. But yeah, so that's it, and we're gonna go into MLS. Want me to start?
Yeah.
All right, so 4 teams played today. MLS. Basically, the first game was Montreal Rapids versus Montreal Impact versus Toronto FC. So it's a best out of 2, and whoever scores most goals, right, they win. So it was 3-2. Toronto FC lost. Jay Altidore and Marcus Bradley, they scored for Toronto FC. And Dioduro, Mankosu, and Oyongo all scored for Montreal. So they lost 3 Toronto FC. So they have to look to get more goals than them the next game. Hopefully they win because we haven't. Toronto FC haven't done
Toronto only needs 1 goal to win because they have the 2 away goals. So in that sense, I mean, I watched a game. The first half, Montreal definitely dominated them. And I feel like later in the second half, Toronto came alive, with 2 goals in a 5-minute span. And I think 3-2. I mean, it was 3-0, and then they scored a 3-1, and I'm like, okay, maybe Toronto's a chance. And they scored the second goal, and I'm like, definitely, all they have to do,
keep that up earlier.
Exactly. All they have to do is just score 1 goal, sit back, 3-3, and they go into the finals.
Also, there's another game in the Western Conference. It was Seattle Sounders versus Colorado Rapids. Seattle won 2-1 thanks to a penalty by Nicolas Lugero. And they won 2-1. So, what do you think?
I think Colorado, I mean, they lost their number 1 goalkeeper, Tim Howard. I talked about it last week. And I think that, that may or may not. Exactly. It may or may not have been played. Exactly. I don't know. I mean, they were, during the season, they were a better team than Seattle. But, I mean, in the playoffs, in the last couple of years for the MLS, Seattle has been they've been a really good team. But, I mean, once again, same thing like the other game with the Montreal and Toronto. It's only 1 goal, and Colorado got an away goal. So all Colorado needs a 1 goal. If they win 1-0, then they also win. So but both teams that are winning, Seattle and Montreal, they have the pressure because if the team scores one goal and they shut them out, then that's out. Then that's them out of the playoffs.
For the finals, yeah.
Yeah, so one guy who's also tied with the MLS the past couple seasons, past 2 seasons, announced his official retirement from soccer today. I mean, Steven Gerrard is definitely by
The
far a
legend.
Liverpool legend and also an English football legend. I mean, he ended his illustrious 19-year career. I mean, he finished with he had a Champions League that he basically won with a free kick. He had over 120 goals. He had 120 goals and 92 assists in the Premier League. He won 2 FA Cups, 1 UEFA Cup, and I just feel like he really cemented himself as
I'll look forward to it.
uh,
It
a
should be
soccer
it
legend,
should
in
be
my
there.
opinion. And I
I
feel
agree.
like the soccer world is really gonna miss him. And it's been rumored
They're
that
being
he's
pushed
gonna
away
take
from him.
on manage. He was offered a managerial role by MK Dons, but I don't
Yeah, I
think he's
heard
gonna
about
take
that.
that. I feel like he's gonna go to Liverpool, his club. And I think he's gonna take on managerial job over there.
Yeah. Hopefully that'd be good. That'd be
And
good.
I'd love that.
Yeah, I bet you would.
So so now to the Europe, to the others, the other big soccer continent. So
Hmm.
over the weekend, we had a big game with Arsenal versus Manchester United. It was a it was a very I feel like Manchester United, after the way they've been playing these last couple games, they played pretty good, and I feel like they were robbed 3 points with an 89th minute goal by Giroud. Giroud. Interesting fact about Giroud: his last, I think, 11 shots, 10 of them have been goals.
Really?
Yeah,
That's ridiculous. What the
exactly.
hell?
So I mean, like he's just been a guy he's on form right now, and I think if he takes a shot, basically he's scoring it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty good match. I feel like Manchester United really didn't dominate in terms of like the game as a whole, but I think they played better than Arsenal. They played better football. So Manchester City managed to get a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Tottenham came back from a 2-1 deficit in about like in the 89th minute, and they managed to score two quick goals in the 89th minute and the 91st minute to get
Yep.
a 3-2 win over West Ham. And if West Ham had won, that would have ended Tottenham's 12-game undefeated streak this Premier League season. So now to my club, Chelsea got another win, their sixth consecutive win, 1-0 win over Middlesbrough, which isn't a challenging team at all. But that now they've now scored 17 goals and they haven't conceded any goals in their win streak and since their formation change. So it's
That's really good
pretty
though.
good. Yeah. I mean, playing consistent, which is good. But I feel like they're going to get tested this week as the undefeated Tottenham takes on the league leaders Chelsea, which is a very big match. I mean, the
Tottenham's gonna
London.
win.
You think that? Okay. Well,
I know that.
it right now it's a London rival, not a big rivalry, but it's pretty big. It's a intercity rivals.
Relevant.
Yeah. So other big games of the weekend in Spain, we had the Madrid derby that went to the side of Real Madrid. Um, Cristiano Ronaldo managed to bag a 3-0 hat. I mean, not 3. He managed to bag a hat trick. I mean,
That's true. Ronaldo's a legend, honestly.
yeah. I mean, he's been playing out of his mind. I think. Do you think he's gonna get Ballon d'Or?
Um, I hope he does.
Joe, okay. I mean, I don't want him. I am a Messi
Oh
over
yeah,
Ronaldo,
I agree, but I think he
but I
should.
feel
I
like,
think he should
yeah,
win it.
I feel like he's
That's
the
why I'm
one. I
saying he should
mean,
win it.
bad news for Real Madrid. Their star winger Gareth Bale is out for 2 months for an ankle surgery,
No.
so I think he's really gonna be missed. I mean, I don't think their upcoming games is gonna be a big challenge. I feel like Gareth Bale is just he has a big impact on the club. In Germany, another big rivalry was Dortmund versus Bayern. Dortmund managed to get a 1-0 win at home with an 11th minute goal from Aubameyang. I mean, since Aubameyang came off I think his 1 or 2 game suspension, he's just been playing now. I think it's his 5th goal now he scored in the past 2 league matches. So I think, and Dortmund, who's has been struggled in this rivalry the past couple seasons, managed to get a big win over.
Don't worry.
Uh,
Once they have Usain Bolt, so it can be all lit. Don't worry.
it's gonna bolt down the wings.
Usain Bolt the savior.
But yeah, he can put himself as one of the best wingers. in my opinion.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't, well, let's see him play soccer first, right?
I mean, another big matchup in Germany was Schalke versus Wolfsburg. Another 1-0 close rivalry match. Schalke managed to get a 1-0 win over the weekend. It was a pretty close game. They scored the goal in the 86th minute. In Italy, the Milan derby. It was I kind of watched like the last couple minutes. It was really very entertaining. I mean, it was a 2-2 draw, but I mean, like AC Milan, who's really come to life. Not they've come to life this season. Right now, they're sitting third in the Serie A. They were winning basically the entire match. Not winning the entire match, but they were winning, and then Inter Milan in the 92nd minute managed to snag a goal back, and it was a 2-2 draw. So I feel like another match
Intense
where
finish.
exactly another match where the team that was winning got robbed of a point. Not much.
Well, I mean, if you let it in, that's not really robbed, is it?
No, I feel like I mean they
They earned
dominated
it.
the
They
game.
earned it, so
Yeah.
therefore they, I don't know.
I mean, they didn't dominate the game. They got but like they were more. They just played like the team. I feel like that should have won. I think Milan deserved it.
Yeah.
But um, okay. So now in Champions League, so like the big thing over this weekend, over the last 2 days, Dortmund managed to. I mean, Dortmund and Legia Warsaw, I believe a team from Poland, they broke the record for 12 goals in a Champions League game.
Wait,
8-4
one
win.
game?
Yeah, it was 8-4 for Dortmund. Royce, just came off a 5-month injury, got a second half hat trick in 40 minutes. That's pretty good. Other news: Ronaldo went back to his home club of Sporting Lisbon. Real Madrid managed to get a win with an 87th minute goal from Benzema. Ronaldo didn't win. I mean, didn't score a goal. But this win certified Madrid in the knockout stage for the 20th consecutive season in the
That's
Champions
ridiculous.
League.
Isn't the
Yeah.
only other one who's up there with that like number Barcelona?
Yeah, I believe so, but I don't think it's at 20. I think they're the only team sitting at
I think
20.
Barcelona's at like 17 or something.
Yeah, I think they're up
16.
there, but they're
They're
not.
up there for sure.
Yeah. Another team, Bayern, suffered a massive loss. So not only losing in their league, but losing in the Champions League to a Russian-based team called FC Rostov. I mean, this win looked very easy. I mean, every betting person, every person with soccer felt like Bayern was going to slap this team. And I think this loss also took away for their push for top spot. I mean, they still made the playoffs, but I think sitting in second place, which means they're going to face a good team in the first round,
I take them out right away.
or that. Another big match was PSG Arsenal, very heated match. It was a 2-2 outcome, another tie. For one of the PSG defenders, Serge Aurier, there was controversy about his English visa. England wouldn't let him in, so he couldn't go to Arsenal and play the match. So that and
Yo,
during the
rough.
match, yeah, I felt bad. I
That
felt
is
bad. And,
rough.
yeah, so they had to change the game plan. They had to put in their backup. During the game, Edison Cavani, it wasn't certain, but he did look like he punched Arsenal's midfield Ramsey in the face. He did score that game, but I just feel like I feel like the UEFA is going to look into that, and he might face a fine or a suspension.
Probably. You should face a. I mean, if you punch a guy, come on, soccer.
And
We're not playing ball.
and it's another game, another 2-2 game where the team that didn't deserve to win also robbed Arsenal. So for the second time, Arsenal got robbed of a win. So Lucas scored in the 77th minute to secure the draw for PSG. So I mean, this weekend it was pretty good. Lots of amazing matchups in soccer. So and now to talk about for those wrestling fans out there, not long, but probably one of the most hyped matches in wrestling, since in the last 6 months. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
That was a quick fight.
Yeah, 84 seconds. And I mean, this match was hyped. I mean, the last time these two fought was in 2004. I mean, Goldberg, if people don't know much about Goldberg, is the only undefeated wrestler. And Brock Lesnar is known for breaking people's streaks like he did for Undertaker. And I mean, for those who watch the match, you can see Goldberg dominated right from the start. Threw him to the ground, hit him with 2 spears, put him in the
jackhammer, and then
exactly, it was crazy. I feel like, but if Goldberg only signed a 1-match contract, So I don't think we're going to see lots of Goldberg in the next upcoming months.
Isn't he an actual fighter for the UFC?
No, he's not. He's old. He's like in his 40s or 50s or something. He's a
Maybe
really
he
old guy.
was. I don't know.
No, no, Lesnar was a
Lesnar,
UFC
okay.
fighter.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
confused with. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's it, really. Right, so hit that.
So we'd like, thank those for tuning in to another Style Sports podcast. And we'd like you to please like and share. And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. All right, so that's goodbye.
Goodbye.